Our project is entitled Recycling Plastics for Exterior Wall Conduit Fortification of One-Story Housing Project. Plastics as a municipal solid waste can be incorporated to a conduit. Recycling plastics and turning it into a compacted and lightweight conduit is stronger or efficient than conventional concrete can be useful for house developments, especially for one-story structures.
We know plastic is bad for the environment. We've probably heard this so many times that we've jaded about the idea. It can be easy to forget the real damage that our overuse of plastic causes to our environment, because most of us have no direct connection to that damage. Your plastic bottle goes into the garbage and it disappears. Maybe you recycle that bag. And you think that you've done your part. But overuse of plastic at all stages is a heavy burden for the environment. So where do plastics come from? And what are they? Plastic is a polymeric material, that is material whose molecules are very large, often resembling long chains made up of seemingly endless series of interconnected links. Natural polymers such as rubber and silk exist in abundance, but nature's plastics have not been implemented in environmental pollution. Because they do not persist in the environment, plastic pollution accumulation in the environment of synthetic plastic products to the point where they create problems for wildlife and their habitats as well as of human conditions. Compared with materials in common use in the first half of 20th century, such as glass, paper, iron, and aluminum, plastics have a low recovery rate. That is, they are relatively inefficient rate to reuse as recycled scrap in the manufacturing process. Due to significant processing difficulties, such as low melting point, which prevents contaminants from being driven off, heating, and reprocessing.
Recycling has been introduced many years ago when we just realized how devastating single plastics can be in our environment. In our modern era, recycling has gone through a lot of ways or practices, and one that catches our minds is the use of shredding to pulverize the plastic and turn it into a concrete. Shredders can be used for household waste management. For example, shredding plastic cardboard can reduce the size of the said material. By shredding, we can change the metaphysical property of a large amount of plastics and turn it into a pellet-sized plastic, which can be used depending on its industrial purposes. These pellet-sized plastics can be used in a variety of purposes, such as clothing, consumer goods, pavements, and etc. But this can be used in fortifying concrete by adding recycled plastics. The processes of shredding can differ depending on the preferred use of a manufacturer or a company. In this case, after shredding plastics into small flakes, some uses gamma radiation to pulverize the pellet plastic or flake plastics into a fine powder that can be mixed with the concrete ingredients. Professional students named Schaefer and Ortega from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology started this kind of idea with the use of lower carbon emitting machines or reactors that can hold gamma radiation. With the new discovery from these exceptional students, a dose of gamma radiation can transform these plastic pellets into a pulverized powder through combustion, and the output would be a plastic concrete which is efficient than the conventional concrete that is being used in common residential houses. With the help of the Science Research Institute and the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute, this could be introduced nationwide so that our goal, which is to minimize plastics, could be attained. This plastic concrete can be used in every construction industry, and in this case, it will be used for one-story housing projects.
The idea is to come up with an accessible and convenient outcome that lead to Lego-like structures of the plastic concrete. Lego-like structured plastic concrete functions well while consuming a small amount of light. It looks like the common hollow blocks but stronger. The exterior walls of a house does not only mean to establish the shape of the structure. It is the very skin of the structure, which means it is the most exposed part of it that needs to be durable and stable. Walls constructed in this plastic concrete will not rust, rot, corrode, or blown away. As the first line of defense, its function as a covering or a skin protecting the building from natural occurrences is important that its durability reaches the point wherein unnecessary infiltrations cannot take place. It is water and termite proof and 20 times tougher than conventional ones, which means it provides safety and secure enclosure during severe weather. It's obviously cheaper, and since we are building a housing project, it will be convenient and easy to build because of its Lego-like structure.